If you're a die-hard Browns fan and love breaking down the game like we do, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss a blitz. In a stunning move that bridges NFL greatness with hometown pride, the Cleveland Browns have announced that legendary defensive back Charles Woodson has officially purchased a minority ownership stake in the franchise. This marks not only a monumental day for the Browns organization, but also for the city of Cleveland and fans of one of the most electrifying defenders the league has ever seen. On Tuesday, the Browns made the news public, welcoming the Hall of Famer into their ownership group with open arms and plenty of excitement. It's a full circle moment for Woodson, who, although never donned the orange and brown as a player, now steps into a leadership role with the team that represents the region he calls home. This isn't just a business transaction, it's a storybook. Chapter added to the already rich football legacy of Charles Woodson. For those unfamiliar with the full scope of Woodson's legendary NFL career, let's take a walk down memory lane. Drafted 4th overall by the Oakland Raiders in 1998 after a Heisman-winning career at the University of Michigan, Woodson wasted no time making his presence felt in the league. Over an 18-year career that stretched across 2 iconic franchises, the Raiders and the Green Bay Packers, Woodson was a defensive force who left offensive coordinators scratching their heads and quarterbacks second-guessing their throws. His resume includes 9 Pro Bowl selections and 3 first-team All-Pro. Nods, accolades that merely scratch the surface of his on-field dominance. In 2009, he was crowned the NFL's Defensive Player of the Year, a title that spoke volumes about his continued excellence well into the latter stages of his career. But beyond the numbers and awards, what made Charles Woodson truly special was his versatility. Throughout his career, he played both cornerback and safety, seamlessly transitioning between positions and excelling at both. That kind of adaptability is rare, even among NFL elites, and is part of what allowed him to remain a top-tier player for nearly 2 decades. He had the speed to shadow elite receivers, the instincts to jump routes, and the toughness to play downhill in run support. There were few, if any, defensive backs who could impact a game in as many ways as Woodson could. He was the Swiss Army knife of NFL secondaries, and his football IQ was second to none. One of the defining moments of Woodson's career came during the 2010-2011 season, when he played a key role in helping the Green Bay Packers win Super Bowl. XLV, though he suffered a fractured collarbone in that very game, his leadership and on-field production throughout the season were instrumental in guiding Green Bay to the championship. It was the crowning achievement of a career already filled with accolades and highlight reel moments. That Super Bowl run cemented Woodson's status not only as a great player, but also as a winner, a leader who could elevate those around him. It's no surprise that the Packers still revere him as one of their all-time greats. While his time with the Packers brought him a ring, Woodson's longest and most iconic association was with the team that drafted him, the Oakland Raiders. He played 11 of his 18 NFL seasons with the Silver and Black, including both the early and final chapters of his career. From 1998 to 2005, and then again from 2013 to 2015, Woodson gave everything to the Raiders' cause, becoming a fan favorite and a franchise icon. His leadership, playmaking ability, and passion for the game were on full display in every snap he took. Oakland will always be a significant part of Woodson's football identity, and Raiders fans still speak his name with reverence and gratitude. Statistically, Woodson's career was nothing short of extraordinary. He totaled 183 passes defended, an absolutely staggering number that reflects his ball-hawking tendencies and uncanny ability to disrupt passing attacks. Add to that his 65 career interceptions, which ties him for 5th all-time in NFL history, and you start to get a sense of just how dominant he was. But it doesn't stop there. He also returned 13 of those picks for touchdowns, showcasing not just his hands, but his vision and athleticism after the catch. When Charles Woodson got the ball in his hands, he became a threat to score, plain and simple. Now at 48 years old, Woodson embarks on a new journey, this time off the field. By joining the Cleveland Browns ownership group, he isn't just putting money into a team, he's investing in the future of a franchise that has struggled to find consistent success since re-entering the NFL in 1999. In fact, Cleveland has made just 3 playoff appearances in the past 25 years, a painful stat for a city that lives and breathes football. Woodson's presence brings not only financial backing, but also football acumen, leadership, and credibility to a franchise in desperate need of all 3. This could be a foundational move for a team trying to turn the corner. The Browns have made it clear that this partnership with Woodson goes beyond a ceremonial title. They see him as an integral figure in helping reshape the culture of the organization. That includes mentoring players, influencing personnel decisions, and perhaps most importantly, serving as a symbol of excellence and accountability. Charles, Woodson doesn't do anything halfway. If he's part of something, he's all in. And that mindset is exactly what Cleveland needs right now. It's a franchise in transition. But with the right pieces in place on the field and in the front office, the Browns could finally be positioning themselves for long-term relevance. For fans in Cleveland, this is more than just a headline. It's a glimmer of hope. The Browns haven't had many legends tied to their identity in recent decades, and while Woodson isn't a former player of theirs, his Ohio roots and commitment to the community make him feel like one of their own. He brings a winning mentality, a Hall of Fame pedigree, and a deep understanding of what it takes to build and sustain success in the NFL. If there's anyone capable of helping guide the Browns back to prominence, it's someone who's lived every facet of football greatness like Charles Woodson. As the NFL world digests this surprise announcement, one thing is abundantly clear. This is a massive win for the Cleveland Browns. By bringing in someone of Woodson's stature, both as a player and as a person, the Browns are signaling that they are serious about changing their fortunes. This isn't just about nostalgia or local ties. It's about vision, leadership, and the kind of championship DNA that Woodson embodies. Only time will tell how much influence he'll wield, but one thing's for sure. Charles Woodson is back in the NFL spotlight, and the city of Cleveland couldn't be more thrilled. Enjoying the content so far? Smash that like button and drop your take in the comments. We want to hear what you think about the Browns this season. No one saw this coming. Not fans, not analysts, not even insiders who make a living predicting NFL moves. But it's official now. Aaron Donald, the 3-time Defensive Player of the Year and future Hall of Famer, has signed a mega deal with the Cleveland Browns. Let that sink in. After a storied career with the Los Angeles Rams, the same man who anchored one of the league's most fearsome defenses and brought LA a Super Bowl is headed to the Dawg Pound. Social media exploded the moment the news broke. And it's no surprise. This is the kind of move that shakes up an entire league. Donald, known for his elite work ethic, unmatched strength, and game-wrecking ability, joining forces with Myles Garrett. That's a defensive dream turned nightmare for every quarterback in the AFC. But let's rewind a bit. How did we get here? For years, Aaron Donald was the cornerstone of the Rams' defense and in many ways the identity of that team. His retirement rumors have been swirling ever since that Super Bowl win over the Bengals. People said he had nothing left to prove. Some even claimed he was ready to hang up his cleats and focus on life outside of football. But you know what they say? Greatness doesn't rest. And Aaron Donald clearly isn't finished. The Rams have reportedly been restructuring and rebuilding. And with a younger core on the rise, whispers of Donald looking for a final chapter elsewhere began gaining traction. Still, no one thought it would actually happen. Not until today. Not until that bombshell tweet dropped from his agent confirming the deal with Cleveland. And just like that, the Browns have gone from contender to legitimate threat. Let's talk numbers because this is no small deal. From what's been reported, the Browns are signing Donald to a 3-year deal worth north of $100 million, with a massive chunk guaranteed. That's elite quarterback money. But if there's any defensive player alive worth that kind of investment, it's Aaron Donald. This isn't just about stats, although his numbers are staggering. It's about impact. It's about presence. It's about having a guy on your roster who changes how opposing teams game plan week after week. The Browns are betting big, yes, but It's a smart bet. Pairing Donald with Myles Garrett gives Cleveland arguably the most dangerous defensive front in the league. Offensive coordinators around the AFC North are probably already losing sleep thinking about how to protect their quarterbacks. So why Cleveland? Of all the teams in the league, why would Donald choose the Browns? Some say it's about legacy. Others suggest he sees something brewing in Cleveland, a roster full of talent, a hungry locker room, and a front office willing to go all in. But sources close to the situation say Donald was impressed with head coach Kevin Stefanski's vision and defensive coordinator Jim Schwartz's aggressive scheme. It's a perfect fit for a player like Donald who thrives on disruption. Combine that with a young athletic defense and a fan base that lives and breathes football, and it starts to make sense. This isn't a rebuild. This is a statement. The Browns aren't waiting for tomorrow. They're going for it now. And let's not ignore the Myles Garrett factor. Pairing two of the most dominant defensive linemen of the modern era on the same team is borderline unfair. Garrett has already carved out a terrifying reputation for himself. Now, with Donald lining up beside him, offensive lines won't know where to turn, double one, and the other eats. Focus on both, and someone else on that line breaks through. This move doesn't just make the Browns better, it elevates everyone around them. Young players on the roster will get to learn from one of the all-time greats, and veterans will feed off the energy and expectation Donald brings. It's a culture changer. Cleveland has long had the talent. Now they have the tone setter, fans. In Cleveland are buzzing, and rightfully so. For a franchise that's often been on the wrong side of history, this is a chance to flip the narrative. The Browns have made big moves in recent years, sure, but this one feels different. This isn't just a flashy signing. This is a calculated, high-impact acquisition that could redefine what's possible for the team. Aaron Donald brings more than sacks and stats. He brings credibility, he brings rings, and he brings a relentless mindset that could very well push the Browns over the edge in a highly competitive AFC. It's a win-now league, and Cleveland just proved they're not just in the game. They're here to dominate. The ripple effects of this move are already being felt across the league. Rival teams are scrambling to adjust their rosters to counter what the Browns have just created. Think about the quarterbacks in the AFC. Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. They all just added one more name to their must-avoid list on Sundays. You can scheme around pressure, sure. But what do you do when it's coming from every direction? That's the challenge now. And for the Browns, it's a beautiful problem to have. They've gone from a team with potential to a team that demands respect immediately. This is the kind of signing that changes playoff brackets, reshapes divisions, and makes everyone stand up and take notice. From a media perspective, this story is pure gold. A Hall of Fame player making a bold move, a traditionally overlooked team making a Super Bowl push, and a fan base finally getting the respect it's long deserved. The narratives are rich. Is this Cleveland's year? Can Aaron Donald bring championship energy to a city starving for success? The cameras will be rolling, the debates will rage. And come week one, all eyes will be on that Browns defense. The NFL loves drama, and this move provides it in spades. No matter what happens next, this deal has already made its mark, and the season hasn't even started. Of course, with big moves come big expectations. Aaron Donald isn't just a superstar, he's a symbol of excellence. The Browns aren't just adding talent, they're adding a legacy, and legacies come with pressure. But if there's one player who's never backed down from the spotlight, it's Donald. Whether he's taking on double teams, making game-saving stops, or mentoring younger players, he sets the tone. And now that tone is being set in Cleveland. The locker room dynamics will shift. The culture will evolve. And make no mistake, there will be growing pains. But this is how winning franchises are built. With vision, with courage, and with players who redefine what's possible. In the end, this deal is more than just a headline. It's a signal. The Browns aren't playing it safe. They're not waiting for the stars to align. They're going out and getting them. Aaron Donald in brown and orange might feel surreal right now, but it's real. And it's happening. The NFL is officially on notice. Cleveland just got a whole lot scarier. Buckle up, because the AFC North just became the most dangerous division in football. And as for Donald, he's not done writing his story. He's just turned the page to a bold new chapter. And it might be the best one yet. Thanks for writing. with us on another Browns Blitz. If you like the video, share it with a fellow fan, hit subscribe, and ring that bell so you're always part of the Dawg Pound conversation. Go Browns!